I am a 100-year-old human and a World War II veteran. I want to share my life and experiences with people who might be helped by them. Ask me anything. Greetings. As you may have imagined, the person typing and facilitating this AMA is not the 100-year-old human, but his granddaughter, me. A little bit about my grandpa. He grew up in Washington state, and has traveled quite a bit. He worked for the FDA for many years, some as an investigator, some as a pharmacist. He served in the Air Force during World War II as a photographer. Clearly there's more to him than this, so ask him some questions. Proof. Y'all, he is enjoying this so much. He's flabbergasted at how many people are asking questions and upvoting him. At first he thought it was all people I knew, haha. He's so happy. We're gonna take a little break. Some of my family just arrived for a visit. 4:14 p.m. Eastern Time. We're back. Gonna knock out some more questions until I have to dip. Appreciate all the interest. Sorry he sometimes misunderstands some questions, aha. With a lot of these I'll ask him and he says let me think about that a bit and I'll circle back, and I guess he hasn't finished thinking about them, so sorry for those still waiting. Lol. 5:05 p.m. Eastern Time. So he's starting to fall asleep as I ask him questions, so I think we're gonna call it a day, aha. He's in rehab for a broken hip right now, and a bit forgetful and confused at times, so hopefully that will give some explanation to some of the stranger answers he's said. Thank you so much for everyone who asked things and commented and told stories and thanked him. He is just so pleased. I'll go through this as I'm able and answer what I can from my perspective. Next time I visit him, I'll try to get a few more answered. He'll remember this for a long time. Thank you all, so much. The 6th of November 5:39 p.m. Eastern Time. Hi all. I stopped by my grandpa's current place today and asked and answered a few more questions. He gets tired pretty quickly, and tends to say, I need to think about that, for things that aren't direct, broad questions like meaning of life, and such, so for further questions I would encourage more specific questions. I'll continue asking him things as we're able. There are a lot to go through, but we appreciate the interest so much. Every time I update him about the number of upvotes, his face lights up, smiley face, while we're here and this has so much visibility. God damn, I've gotta put this out there, cause I'd really love to have the opportunity to live as long as my grandpa has. We need climate action. We are currently headed down a very dangerous path, due to the fault of the super wealthy who have gotten rich off of fossil fuels and extractive industries and covered up the negative consequences that will have a disproportionate harmful effect on poor people both in the future and now. Boo. While the situation is dire, there is hope. But only if we come together and take an active role in politics, local, state, and national, pushing for climate solutions. The easiest way to do this is, of course, to get good people into office who will push for climate justice so we don't have to be in the streets all the time. So vote responsibly. Make sure that human isn't just greenwashing while still taking money from fossil fuel industry, but is taking real action. Cough Bernie and AO care great cough. And, if you are able, please join a climate justice organization, or donate to one. It has given me a great sense of community and solace being in the Sunrise Movement, being around people who are scared about the future just like me and learning about what to do about it together. It's been a truly transformative influence in my life, and I am so thankful for that. Links below for some organizations I like, but there are definitely others, so please, look them up and find one right for you. Note, while my grandpa is not super hip about all the aspects of climate change, I have shared my life with him and he has been super supportive of me in my journey of action, and for that I am so grateful. Join, take action, support the Green New Deal, and/or donate please. I want us all to live as long as my grandpa less than 3 list.
Wow, that's a long time to be alive. Now, what hasn't changed in your life? Something that you believe always has been and may always will be.
Common sense.
What was the most tense moment of your life?
When I stepped forward to get married. No kidding, just briefly, I thought I was gonna faint when the pastor asked those questions.
What's a food you loved in the past that doesn't taste the same anymore?
Good home fries, laughs, all have to think about that. We got more acquainted with lamb instead of beef. I can say he loves his oysters, always has and always will. How's it like watching your children actually grow old? A great delight.
What's the best and worst thing about being 100 years old?
Best thing, being alive, laughs.
Thanks for joining us on Reddit today. My question, have you been to Germany or Japan since the war? What were your thoughts?
The wife and I have been to Germany since for vacation. I've been to Japan since in regard to FDA regulations. Just looking at their food habits, and their environment, just appreciating what they had.
What did you do in the years after the war? Was it directly back to school or something else?
Got my license in pharmacy, saw recruitment for FDA and joined them, and traveled to see how other people lived. Most shocking thing you photographed in World War II that you did not expect. Let's not put it on what I photographed. In Normandy, of all the areas that photo planes did, was the total area that they put into pictures, that ended up in something like 10,000 total prints. We'll add something later on, he says.
My great-grandmother lived to 108 and she told the best stories about life and learning. What is one thing you'd like to share with younger generations?
Just use common sense.
What do you know at 100 years old, that wish you knew far earlier?
Answer delayed, that's a sticker, how to work with other people.
Has reaching 10 decades given you any new insight?
The world is a mess, laughs. I may want to modify that answer later.
Living 100 years, what was the biggest leap of technology that you've experienced? What seemed the most unreal when it came out?
On computers, it was something that took me a while to catch on to, and how to use it. When they first became a thing, he was odd. On television, essentially the same answer.
Military or not, what achievement has made you happiest in life?
Having an excellent family and superb friends.
I recently came across a shoebox full of letters that my great-grandparents wrote to each other during World War II. Did you have anyone you were writing sweetheart letters to?
For general letters, just a few people I met in the service, Air Force. For sweetheart, there was a girl in study hall every other seat in the auditorium. I liked her very much. She had a Spanish book, I looked to the other side of me. Another girl had a dictionary, I used her dictionary to write to the first one. She thought I knew Spanish but I didn't, she was mad at me.
What was the biggest change you noticed while working for the FDA for many years?
How FDA regulations assured quality food, drugs, cosmetics.
Was the food you ate at war any good?
Some was not, mainly getting used to the lamb.
Is there anything from his younger days that he truly regrets doing, not doing to this day?
Regret, not marrying Audrey earlier, laughs, Audrey was his wife.
What's one thing that you remember from your experiences that doesn't fail to make you smile?
Whenever he talks about his late wife, Audrey, there is a light that illuminates his entire being. He loved her so much. She died a little after I was born, so I didn't get to know her unfortunately. His calendar in his bedroom is still on the month per year that she died. She was very dear to him.
Did you ever smoke tobacco?
Only on specific assignments of undercover work. At medical appointments I've taken him to, for the questionnaire he's always said, never. I guess it took a stranger asking to find the truth.
Did you fathom ever reaching 100? Perhaps it's cliché to ask, but what is it like reaching such a milestone?
I dreamed of being able to do that, and I did it, and, an impossible question, laughs. Thanks for watching, listening. Don't forget to subscribe.